Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is me, Mr. Scareman, and today we are reviewing X-Men. Oh my god, the Wolverine. This is another step in our X-Men reviews. So, let's talk about the Wolverine. This is one of my favorite X-Men movies. I will say, I love this film. This film was probably one of my favorite X-Men films of all time growing up. I don't know why. I just thought it was good. Now, I've rewatched it. It's incredible. I'm going to be honest. This film is so fun. Personally, as I've stated in videos before, I'm a huge feudal Japan person. I love all that stuff. But I'm also, I just love Japan, period. So having a full Wolverine film take place there is actually really cool. And I think a lot of what this film does is very interesting, especially with the idea of taking away Wolverine's powers. Wolverine, with his powers, is basically a god, because he can't die, really. Well, he can die, as we saw in Logan, but it's very difficult for him to die. And he's basically an invincible warrior. So seeing him be stripped of his powers and have to deal with everything on his own without those powers in a land he's not known, with basically a completely new cast of characters, is pretty incredible. And I love the cast. I think the cast also is incredible. The fact that there's really two returning characters and one of them is a dead person in dreams, that being Jean Grey, is pretty impressive. The majority of this film, it's like, I feel like what some of these films would do is they'd have characters from other movies in it. But this is very much a film that is so separate from it, it actually feels like a Wolverine movie, and I'm so happy about it. Because this fits Wolverine. Wolverine, in this universe, isn't the smartest, but this is such a good story for him. Compared to what X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I already spoke about, compared to what that was, and the atrocities that committed, this feels like I'm watching Wolverine because it has that heart, and he fits in this location and in this plot so well, and he does some really incredible things. I think a lot of the fights in this are cool, and each fight scene I feel like fits the theme. I love the shots where he's has all the harpoons coming out of him, and he's just keeps walking forward. I love that whole sequence because I feel like Wolverine is such a good selfless character. That's something I love so much about him, is the fact that he isn't so self-centered. He is, but he's so good at, I believe it's Mariko. I believe that's the main love interest. He cares for his character so much, and seeing them grow closer throughout the film and stuff, it brings back Shogun feudal Japan vibes almost, with the barbarian in this different land. It's a lot like that same thing here, but I feel like it's done so well. I feel like it has an artistic look that I very much enjoy. And I feel like it's just done in such a way. I feel like compared to some of the other films I've seen in this universe, this feels like it can not just necessarily stand on its own, but it feels like an artistic piece compared to an X-Men film. Even though it's Wolverine starring in it, I actually feel like this is kind of like The Dark Knight, where it's not really a superhero film. And that really isn't until the third act. This film is so good until it reaches the third act. And that's because once you get past that harpoon scene, I hate the metal monster. Honestly, if this character just died and they were trying to just take the powers to make medicine or something, or make the Snake Girl stronger, I actually think that could have been very interesting. But instead they had to be let's just throw back the person from the start. And I feel like that was very lazy. And I didn't love even the suit. Honestly, I would have been fine saying that the main, the old guy was alive, and then just kind of saying, we need your powers. But not the whole suit. I feel like the suit really ruined it for me. But I actually very much enjoyed a lot of what this film put forward. I think a lot of the ideas that it was presenting were actually extremely interesting. And as I said, I really like the fact that Wolverine's healing factor is gone. I think without that healing factor, it actually feels like, one, Wolverine's vulnerable, and two, he has some, not just stakes in the plot, but it feels like he's actually has something to lose. And we haven't got that in a Wolverine film in a while, because I feel like he's always kind of not at a threat of death. But now that he has a threat of death, now that it's he could die, I think it genuinely, during my first watch of this film, I barely remember, but anyone's first watch of this film, they could actually think Wolverine could die in this. Because really, Wolverine without his healing factor is just kind of a fighter. And I think that leads him kind of being very easily killed. But But once he gets his powers back, I also love the scene in the... What probably one of my favorite scenes is the scene where he like takes the thing out of his heart and there's that whole samurai battle going on around him. I actually love that. I think that's one of my favorite scenes because it's so fun. I believe that's, I think Sonata's in this film. I think I saw that. I could be wrong, though. I think I saw in the credits he is. I think he's the samurai in this scene. And I love it so much. I feel like the way that this is the big samurai fight in this, I feel. And I feel like it's so good. I love that Wolverine gets a heroic moment. And it's kind of saving his own life almost. And it's such like a stupid thing that it makes sense for Wolverine to do it. Like, it's not like a smart choice that he makes trying to take that thing out of his heart. But it's like, when you're watching it, it's like, yep, that's something Wolverine would do. Not that's a smart decision, but that's something Wolverine would do. And I feel like that's what matters. And it adds so much to the plot in such a simple way that I feel like that scene alone adds so much to the film. And I will say, I think this film is practically perfect up to those final act. That what really brings it down. But up to that point, I actually feel like this film is very good. Maybe not perfect, as I said, but I feel like it's actually extremely strong. And I think even him trying to understand culture and stuff, I feel like it actually does a lot of very interesting things that haven't really been shown in really any Marvel films. Showing the main character being the barbarian in another land, I think is actually very interesting. And I don't feel like we've gotten that in a film in a very long time. And I very much enjoy seeing that in this project. I thought this film was just very good. I missed this a lot, and I'm very excited to see Days of Future Past, which is what I believe is next. But I just loved this film. This film was so good. I thought this was just incredible. I will say, I very much enjoyed this thing. This was so fun. This is one of my favorite ones. I'll say out of the ones I've seen. I wouldn't say it's better than First Class, but I'd say it definitely is close. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.